Can you hand me that bag?
Yeah.
Did you nod your head and say no?
What'd you ask me?
I said, hand me the bag.
Yes.
No. You're so cool. I wish we could all be as cool as him, right? Ryan is so cool. David's just so cool.
Can't be. Powerpuff Girl.
Is that you as a Powerpuff Girl?
Yeah.
Never mind. I want to be as cool as Adam.
I'm a rowdy rough boy. Y'all know about that. Has anybody seen the reboots?
No.
Does anybody care about the reboot?
Of Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
You gonna act like you didn't watch it?
No, I watched it.
Like as a kid?
No, I did. I watched it, and I was curious as to how they were going to bring it back, but not curious enough to actually seek it out.
I want that Samurai Jack
Ooh.
Yeah.
to come back out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh
Yeah.
wee.
That's where it's at, my man.
Come on, Jack.
Jack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What was that?
So gross, man. Sorry.
Anyway, what I'd like even more than Samurai Jack is I don't know, original ideas to start coming out instead of just remakes.
It'd be real nice for us to have like new movies and TV shows.
Yeah, like original IPs or something.
Breaking Bad was that.
Yeah, Breaking Bad was an IP, original IP. Which
And
is
then they made Better Call Saul.
Intellectual properties. Well, Better Call Saul is just a spinoff.
Yeah. Which is it's not original.
It's part of an original, though.
Yeah, but it itself is not original.
True. Well, how long do you think it's going to take for us to get a Breaking Bad remake?
Oh. I'll give it
20
about 7
years?
years. 7.
7 years?
7.
No. That's way too short.
I'd say 20 years.
Like 7 months, maybe. No.
You guys should try this beer.
I guess that's your thing now?
I told you that was my thing.
Man,
Okay.
what's this beer called?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Beach Hippie IPA from the Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company.
We recently had a Persimmon Hollow.
Yes, we
beer as
did.
well.
Yes, we did. This is also an IPA. Where's the ABV on this thing?
7.1, right on
Yeah,
the front.
In the front, on the left-hand side.
Oh, I see.
By the hippie van.
Also, big orange letters on the side.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Any way you could answer that more like a prick? Is there-
Have you figured out what IBUs are yet, Marco?
No.
Asshole.
Still looking that up. Still looking that up.
Research.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's take a drink.
All right.
Me and you clink. No, you don't get any. This is the One Baron Podcast. Nope.
Well, I guess you're not drinking.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
5 a.m.
Oh man, that's really good.
Yeah, I like that.
That is good.
That's refreshing.
I withheld my reaction for a while.
You're just sitting there quivering.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Bottom lip.
It's thirst quenching.
Bottom lip just could not handle it.
I really like their branding on this can. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the design also.
You would, Adam.
He would see something like that faster.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever drive a microbus, a minibus?
Right. I mean,
Like didn't they like remake those?
yeah.
I think I don't.
They did,
I
yeah.
haven't
Talking
seen-
about remakes?
I haven't seen a single remake one ever.
Yeah.
They made it and then like, oh shit, this is just like a thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Nobody's actually gonna buy these.
Or just like the Beetle, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen New Beetles.
Yeah, the new Beetles have been like everywhere, but
Because that's actually a decent car.
yeah, apparently.
Now it looks like a decent car.
The old ones are apparently pieces of shit. Like, it's incredible that they last this long because they're.
They still last long.
Oh, well.
Well,
Right.
if it lasts that long, I guess they're not that big of a piece of
Right,
shit.
right.
I think it's more that people just care about them so much they keep up with them, you know? They're so unique looking, especially at the time they came out.
Yeah. And then they went back to that older design. I think that's why people went and bought this new one.
Yeah.
Because it was closer to that 60s one or 70s one. More streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
Less round.
Yep.
More, I mean, and just feminine.
The Beetle?
Yeah. The car, the 90s and early millennium one, it's just like, you couldn't have...
Adventure Racing on the N64.
They did?
Yeah.
Adam loved that game.
Oh, so good. It's a great racing game.
It probably wasn't. Not in your mind's eye. It was probably a really great.
Middle
racing
school
game.
me loved that game.
Middle school, you liked a lot of things. That's
True, especially cake.
Yeah.
And that was elementary school. There was Dunk Doritos and Coke.
Yeah.
Classic. I finally watched Hateful Eight. I'm still on this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Heavy sigh.
Mm.
You liked it? Did you like? I mean, all right. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but what did you think?
Strong like, not love.
Not his
Strong
best.
like.
Sort of just fits into his catalog.
It's there.
Doesn't stand out.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I appreciate what he did with the movie, but it wasn't a very enjoyable movie.
Right.
You know, like, it wasn't fun to watch. I wouldn't go back and rewatch it.
No, there was the one thing that stuck out to me. Well, this is one of the things that stuck out to me. Is that
my big black Johnson.
Yeah, that.
And I put it right in his mouth.
When that happened, I was like, this movie took a turn.
Yeah.
A sharp turn. None of the characters are likable characters. Not one do you root for or give a shit about their fate.
They're a Hateful Eight.
I mean, but still, they gotta be like charming or like. I mean, I guess they were charming, but I mean, nothing that would make you care about them dying.
Yeah.
I mean, spoiler alert: this movie is like almost 2 years old.
It's like a year and a half.
Excuse me.
It just came out on like Blu-ray.
Yeah. Didn't come out that long ago.
No, yeah, you're right, because it was competing with Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Sorry, take that back. Still, you should have seen it. Everybody dies. Every single person dies in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every person on screen dies.
Yeah.
Think about it. Every single person that we see on screen dies.
Can you say it one more time?
Every single person that you see on screen perishes.
Yeah.
Does anyone survive, though?
Not one person. If they're on the screen, they're dead.
Mm.
So
anyway.
What you're saying is nobody makes it, I think.
In not so many words, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But yeah, none of them are really. You don't root for any of them. You don't really care when they go. I mean, that's how I was seeing it. A character would die, and I'd go,
I like the stagecoach driver. I forget his name.
Obi?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked him, and I always liked Tim Roth in anything. So he's always fun. But he was playing, to me, a caricature of Christoph Waltz. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. I think we said that. Mm-hmm. We said something like this guy like he's acting like he's Christoph Waltz.
Right. I feel like maybe he wanted Christoph Waltz, but he's like, do I put him in 3 movies in a row?
We gotta get Ralph back in here. I haven't used him in a while.
Right. It's kind of sucks that he hasn't used him in a while, because apparently Tim Roth has said like he was supposed to be in a couple of his other movies, but like scheduling conflicts didn't work. I can't imagine what Tim Roth is doing.
Lie to me.
That would.
He still acts in the reruns.
That classic TV show. What?
He still acts in the reruns.
We're shooting another rerun.
Comes back and he just reshoots them.
Mm-hmm.
This beer's good.
It's really, really refreshing.
Yeah.
What's that fruit taste? You taste that, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I mean, I feel like I respect the movie because it's a movie that clearly doesn't give a shit about its audience. Like, it's like, this is what it's going to be, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
There's no comfort in it. I mean, it's beautifully shot, and you know, cinematography is awesome, and obviously the acting's top notch, and the writing's great. Mm. But it all comes to a head in a big sort of nothing. Yeah. You know, you're left kind of going, well, there's the credits.
Even that end scene, it's supposed to be really a big deal with them hanging her and everything, and the black guy and a white guy doing it together. It just kind of
not only that, but like a Confederate ex-soldier.
Still just really didn't resonate.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it more than I thought I was going to by the end of it, after the movie a little bit. And I was like, I guess it's a nice sentiment that, like, we can come together. I guess it's coming together for a mutual hatred against somebody.
I'm sure there's some feminists that hated that movie.
Oh yeah, this woman gets
not
shit.
Not feminists. Let me
movie.
rephrase it. Just like feminazis.
Yeah.
Don't move the movement the right way.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of a movie that sorry about that. Movie that doesn't give a shit about its audience. Suicide Squad. Warner Brothers comes out that they want to rewrite certain scenes. They're spending tens of millions of dollars to rewrite or to reshoot and to well, I mean, they had to rewrite it to reshoot it to add humor to Suicide Squad.
Direct reaction to
Batman
versus Superman,
and their trailer, because the trailer comes out and it's really funny.
It's full of Queen.
Yeah, it has
soundtrack.
A lot of scenes that like, you know, they edited to Queen, and there's a lot of like almost slapstick type, really dark humor. And people love the trailer. If you go on, like, I guess there's like trailer websites where they rate trailers. I don't know. Ain't no trailer trash.
It's like a website full of ads when you think about it.
Seriously, it is. It's a website dedicated to commercials. But it was very, very well received, and they were like, "Oh shit." One
we're
unnamed
fucked
source.
If we don't change everything about this movie right now.
One unnamed source said that every joke in the movie was in that trailer. And they were like, oh, snap, people really like that. But that was it. Once they see it, they're like, this is not the movie that I was advertised.
I can't believe there's that much of a disconnect between, like, the film's creators and the audience, you know? Because we're all sitting here thinking that this is going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy DC version, you know? Like, that's what the advertisers aimed it as.
That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to shoehorn into it now.
Yeah.
They're trying to make this fun and exciting, and I don't think that's what they meant to make initially.
The DC movies,
and because of that, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck.
But to your point, I think it is fascinating, because you're right, it probably will if they do shoehorn unnatural. I mean, from what they've said, they're trying to rewrite the movie itself in a way that it is not just, you know, characters are walking and one character steps off and, you know, drops a joke, and then they get back to it. Like, they're trying to make it a natural part of, like, the characters' interactions are going to be sillier than they were in the movie, as opposed to just putting in jokes. They're just lightening the mood between the characters. It's too brooding at this point, and they're lightening the mood with, the characters' interactions.
But within storytelling and, like, really crafting a fine story, period. I was going to say movie, but it doesn't matter if you're writing a book or, you know, whatever else, any kind of storytelling vehicle that you have. If you go and you write this thinking one way, and you try to go back and rewrite it as something different after it's already completed, because this movie's coming out this year, right? If you go back and just go, well, shit, we got to change the tone of this entire thing, like, it's gonna look like a Frankenstein monster.
Right.
True.
It's you know what happened last time they did that to a David Ayer movie, right? We got Sabotage.
Did they go back and rewrite Sabotage?
They cut it up. Yeah, it was supposed to be like a 3-hour movie.
Oh, right. That's right. True. I was going to say earlier that it is fascinating that there is such a divide between the filmmakers, the producers, and the people who market these movies, and the people who they are marketing it to.
Right.
It's really crazy that, like, how Marvel keeps hitting the nail right on the head.
Right.
And DC just like, they just seem so out of touch.
They're fumbling around in the dark right now.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm just
trying,
like, I'm wondering, I'm genuinely confused as to how they have this whole organization dedicated to giving stuff directly to their most diehard fans, and they can't figure out how to make an enjoyable movie for people who are fans of the universe.
Right, their biggest characters.
Yeah.
They can't make a good movie about.
They can't use, I mean, not just like their biggest characters, but the biggest characters in the comic book
world.
Yeah, I mean, they're part of the culture of American culture of internet. I mean, just
Batman
and
Superman,
everything.
Joker.
Right. I mean, those are just like, how do you mess that up? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really understand.
I mean, in a way, it's sort of a. I can see it as being a negative because if they have those top tier characters, there's so much pressure on them to deliver something that we all know and expect.
Yeah.
Where if you have something like Guardians of the Galaxy, there's relatively small fan base, especially really rabid fan base. I was waiting for this movie to critique it and be like, oh, Star-Lord's not really like that in the comics. Like that compared to how many people would say that for Superman, Batman is.
That's true.
Well, that's probably their problem because they're trying to make too big of a movie with too big of names with big expectations.
Yeah.
And then they never meet those expectations.
It's hard.
I mean, but why don't they just?
It's not hard, Adam. You
You
just get the right director to do the damn thing.
Right, exactly. Why don't they just use the people who actually write these stories? Why do they keep trying to?
Well, what do you mean the people that write these stories?
The actual comic book writers.
Well, I mean, they did that with Frank Miller in Sin City 2, and that didn't work out.
That's
so.
But he had a heavy hand in Sin City 1.
True, and I mean, mind you, Robert Rodriguez basically took his comic books as the basic.
He just brought them to life, basically. Yeah,
the storyboards for the entire movie, and it worked out great. Mm-hmm. But mind you, that takes a vision because if you have just a comic book solely writer doing a movie, he's out of his element.
Right.
He's not going to do well. Like that. At least that's from my experience. What I've seen from whenever they do that, it doesn't work out right because it's a different medium. It's a different way of telling a story.
Yeah.
It's a different type of writing. Everybody forgets that Frank Miller wrote, was it RoboCop 2 and 3?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it was 2 and 3. I'm pretty positive it was 2 though, at least. And those are like relatively poorly written movies.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but to David's point, okay, you bring in the guys who write the comic books, and then you bring in filmmakers who are proven filmmakers. Why? No offense, David Ayer. I mean, you gave us Sabotage, and we love it. I mean, it's part of our friendship, basically. Yeah. But come on, man. Why would DC go, oh, yeah, that's what we need? Mm-hmm. Drop an ass. That's going to be great. That's going to be great in this universe. What has he done that's made them go, yeah, this is the guy? Same with Zack Snyder. What about his vision? What about his thing? Period. Did they go, yeah, that's what we want?
I mean, I think he was really emboldened by what he did with 300.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, he did that comic good.
Man, the goodwill he got off of one movie is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, 300's awesome.
Yeah.
You can't take nothing away from that. But Jesus, the goodwill he got off of that one movie.
Yep. Everything about 300 was great, though. The casting, it worked for his vision because it was literally in a different time.
300 was lightning in a bottle. That's what that was.
It came out at the perfect time. Right. We hadn't seen anything like that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mostly all CG, very visionary directing, all action, full out, nonstop. It was awesome.
Yeah. It was just perfect, right where it needed to be. And then they just keep pegging him to do this over and over and over again. Anyway, I feel like we're talking about him over and over and over again.
Yeah,
sorry, Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
We don't like you, though.
I mean, sorry, we just keep bringing you up. I'm giving you free advertising. It's the One Mirror Podcast, man. But yeah, I mean...
He needs it.
At the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, are you guys really even interested in Suicide Squad?
No.
I was, and then I saw the reviews for the new Batman vs. Superman. Honestly, that hurt my expectation for Suicide Squad. And then hearing, obviously, the reshoots. Because every time you hear a reshoot, it's almost like a sure sign signal that movie's dead on arrival.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of one instance of reshoots that leads to something good or better than the original vision that it intended. I'd rather honestly have a movie that was intended the way it was and it just come out and not really be that great, as opposed to it coming out and being like, oh, well, that obviously wasn't meant to be there.
Right.
And they put that joke in there clearly just to, for shits and giggles and to meet that quota that they need. Like, I don't know. It just seems very pandering to me. Like, I'd rather have a director and a writer that can stick to their guns and be like, you know what? If you guys don't like it, that's fine. But this is what we intended. This was the movie that we set out to make, and here it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If it was a mistake, it was a mistake, and that's fine. You learn from that. But for them to go back and be like, literally the year that the movie's coming out and be like, let's reshoot a few things because we had a major focus test, basically, with Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I understand they're trying to patch it up and make it work, but it doesn't bode well to me.
Seinfeld Squad.
I mean,
Jokes on jokes on jokes. It just turns into one big stand-up skit.
I mean, it could come out and be awesome, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we're being very judgmental before the movies even come out.
Rightfully so.
Which is what we do. It's fine. It's what the people expect.
This is the One Baron podcast.
We are usually right about everything.
Yeah,
except that one guy who said we didn't know what we were talking about.
But we did.
But
though.
we did.
We did.
But we did, though.
But we did, though.
Yeah, we'll see, though.
That was about John Jones, and he keep getting into shit. I don't know if you've seen recently.
No, what else did he do?
He was in Mexico, and
where all good stories start.
Yeah, seriously.
And according to him, he was driving a safe miles per hour, wasn't bothering nobody, and he got pulled over and given, 5 citations for speed racing because he was revving his engine at a fan. That's what he says. It's like, all I was doing was revving my engine. And then, I guess he cussed out the cop.
He's on probation.
And that got, And that got filmed by somebody because, of course.
Of course.
I mean, celebrities should be 24/7 assuming that they are being filmed. Even in their own homes.
Yep.
At this point, they should assume that they're just being filmed. So that happens. They take him to jail because he, like you said, he's on probation. Then, he comes back here. They put him on more probation, so he's got 60 more days of probation.
He pleads guilty to get, the charges lowered.
Right. 60 more days of probation, or 60 days or 60 months? It was something crazy. Anger management class, improved driver courses, all kinds of shit. They just
this guy sounds like he's gonna kill himself soon.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't get it. He's the first UFC fighter to ever be stripped of his title for a disciplinary reason, and I don't know. It just seems like he's working really hard to never win it back.
It sucks.
Yeah,
he's got a fight this month coming up.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. Winning his title back. This is supposed to be the return of John Jones. And I don't know.
Is that going to happen anymore? Do we know what's going to happen?
Well, it's still, tentatively it's still on.
Okay.
And, I don't really see how anything could change unless he,
He's not going to jail, so that's the thing.
Right.
I think he's fine to fight as long as he's not in jail, obviously.
Yeah. So just be on probation. He'll be on house arrest with the championship belt. It'll just be him and his ankle monitor.
Just going to have to train him too.
Anyway, I don't really know where else to go with this. We can cut this part out. But
no, leave it.
I'm not leaving it.
Every time I say cut it, it never gets cut.
Take it.
What are you talking about?
Take it.
You want this dead air
just
left in
I
there?
want this right here.
It's real. It's real.
This is real.
Whatever, man. It's your show.
You're right. It's my show.
Yeah.
I just let you pretend it's yours.
Okay.
Oculus Rift came out.
Oh. Have you been able to play with it?
No.
No?
No.
You looked up the reviews, though. Everybody looked up.
Of course.
We all looked up.
This thing is the best damn thing in the world.
I know. It's pretty. It is pretty cool, though. The fact that it's finally out. It's finally here. We've been talking about it for what?
Years.
2-3 years now.
Yeah.
It's finally here. Finally
it
retail.
Started. The VR revolution has begun.
Mm-hmm. This is it. Now, every time I go on Facebook, it's another video or another link to hey, check out this VR thing. And it was you were showing me the thing with the cats, right? Or was that you? Yeah. Did he show you that?
No.
Yeah, there's a demo of people walking out on a plank to save a kitty. But it's 60 stories up.
Oh, God.
But it's all VR. So it just shows people freaking out.
That's funny.
Because they're afraid of heights.
It's like an arcade in Japan. And it's supposed to introduce people to VR.
That's awesome.
And
we need more of that. Because
definitely.
I feel like really none of us have truly experienced VR in that level. You know,
yeah.
We've seen it based off a cell phone before, but that's not the true VR experience.
No, yeah. The first guy that comes out, you know, and has enough money or gets a big enough loan or whatever, buys 10, 15, 20 Oculus Rifts, sets up computers, booths with like specific games for every setup. So you have your car racing booth with the Oculus Rift, the steering wheel, the rig where the chair moves, the jet fighter setup. They're just gonna bank
that would be
so
awesome.
much money.
yeah.
If Disney Quest is still around, just make it a VR playground. That's it.
No, they're getting rid of it, but
Yeah, good. Fucking finally.
why?
It's old.
So
Technology.
All that shit is old.
Yeah,
just update it.
The technology wasn't updated
It should.
long enough.
Disney
Oh yeah,
Quest.
update it. How long has it been?
Well, what I'm saying is Disney Quest should have
15
moved
years.
as quick as the technology did. That was the point of it, or at least that was supposed to be the point of it. So, but anyway,
You
who
can
cares?
only ride that Bill Nye roller coaster so many times.
Well, make a new one. That's why they're getting rid of the fucking Back to the Future shit. They get rid of the Jaws, get rid of Twister.
It's a different company.
I'm saying they're just getting rid of shit like that.
It's the same thing. All the same company. So anyway, yeah, no, I think the way that, obviously we talked about this in the past, but the way that VR really explodes is when it gets in people's hands. Because the only time people will really be able to experience it is if they know somebody that has it, or they just go on a whim and buy it themselves.
Right.
So, well, that I don't see it really exploding because you can't experience that. Now, things like IGN have made their own VR channel, so you can, you know, use your rudimentary like phone and use that VR experience to kind of see and look around what that VR experience is.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. I find that like a nice sort of beginning steps.
I like the videos that people have been coming out with.
The
What's
3D video.
Yeah, the 3D videos. I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They need something here to inform people and to let them know and to give them that to hold their hand through the first steps.
Yeah.
Because like the pricing is ranging from like $300 on up. Like if you don't really have any context for it or anything, like why would you go out and spend all that money? It's one thing. You've got brand recognition when I say the new Xbox is coming out.
Right.
You automatically know what you're getting with that. Even if you don't know what you're getting with it, you know what's coming, right? But if I tell you the Oculus Rift is out, you need context for that. You're
By
not gonna spend
Facebook.
that
Oculus
kind of
Rift
money.
by Facebook.
Sounds real futuristic.
Right. People are not just going to go out and spend that kind of money on something like that.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were kids, when the N64 was coming out, they had actual like mobile N64s that they bring out to these like shows and stuff, and like they had these booths with N64s so you could play Mario 64 for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is new. This is like a brand new thing. 3D gaming is truly in your home now.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, obviously PlayStation was there and stuff like that too, but not on this level. Like, seeing that was a game changer.
Yeah.
We don't have that yet for VR, so
Yeah.
kind of waiting on that.
I remember the N64 at McDonald's.
That was the thing. Yeah.
That's my idea of a mobile N64.
Yeah.
Immobile.
Immobile,
Immobile at a McDonald's eating a burger.
just like you when you're at McDonald's eating a burger.
I don't even stand up to play that. I pull up the chair.
Something I just thought of
Just now.
and
I just thought of this.
that I actually
All right,
remembered.
Trump.
Words. I have many words.
And they're the best words.
Actually, Bronson.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he did?
Oh, yeah.
Is he losing weight?
No.
I think he's losing weight.
No.
Maybe he's trying. I don't know.
I mean, for a guy that size, you know, losing weight is just getting to a smaller fat guy. You know?
Or a fat guy that could live longer.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is like he on one of his fuck that's delicious
fuck stats delicious.
episodes, he says he lost like 80 pounds, but I mean he's still really big
He's still a
dude.
fat guy.
So, I
He
mean,
also exaggerates a lot. So
yeah, I mean exaggerates pretty much everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Everything.
literally.
So yeah, so he was supposed to perform at a school Do you remember what the school was? Washington something.
Yeah.
Elementary.
It was Washington University.
Washington Elementary.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, you know, a small group of, and I looked it up. A lot of people were saying, let's just continue with the backstory. A small group of people created a petition to prevent him from performing.
George Washington University.
George Washington University prevented him from performing at their benefit thing or some kind of like festival concert that they had because of his misogynistic lyrics.
There was a song in particular, Consensual Rape.
Right, Consensual Rape song that he had come out like 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean his ongoing misogyny period in his
right, and
lyrics,
specifically
and
it was that song and an Instagram post.
Oh yeah, with the transsexual that he was like making fun of or something like that.
Right.
And then there's the video for a song from Dr. Lecter where he's like cutting up a woman, or he's like eating dinner next to like a dead body, like a woman's dead body or something. I forgot what the song is, but it doesn't matter. All those
On
things.
Something called Dr. Lecter.
Something.
What?
Yeah. Right.
How inappropriate.
So all those things put together, the school, you know, this small vocal group of you know activists.
Air quotes.
Air quotes.
Get the air quotes.
Prevented him from performing, and this has happened to him enough times that he deemed it necessary to finally respond with a long form Facebook post about how this, you know, those lyrics aren't who he is, and he regrets that, you know, people are using that as a perception of who he is as a person, and he has no problem with the LGBT community or violence against women. You know, he doesn't condone that in any shape or form, blah, blah, blah.
And most importantly, I feel like he mentioned that he uses his lyrics as a, you know, a writer or a director makes their art as well.
Yeah.
It's a piece of art. He says he understands that, especially in hip hop, people take it as a direct correlation with who he is as a person, what he rhymes and what he writes himself. But he is making a piece of art with what he's doing, and this is his vision. He's telling a story, et cetera, et cetera.
I think that is the major crux of like the criticism that's levied at rap music, is that they spend so much time trying to convince you that what they're saying is the truth,
right?
Because the truth is the most important thing for a very large part of rap music. The truth is the most important thing. Yeah, you have to be real about what you're saying, and you have to have done the things that you're talking about, so on, so forth, blah, blah, blah. That, I think, is the major like crux of the criticism, because people always say, you know, you say these things and it's who you are and it's who you represent, and you know you're setting a bad example. And nobody ever says that about excuse me, filmmakers or, you know, film writers,
country musicians,
novel writers, and things like that. They don't say those sorts of things about about other creative people, because it's assumed that those people are writing a story,
right? And
it's assumed that a rapper is talking about his life,
or condoning what he's talking about,
right? And he can't, and it sucks because like he can't. The more he says that these are just stories and this is just him being creative, the less believable he is, and the less legitimacy is lended to his music. That bothers some people.
It does, and I've seen a sizable backlash against what he said. But in that same token, do we go to Action Bronson for the truth? I don't think we do.
No,
we go to him for entertainment.
The guy, I mean, how many times has he made a reference to like doing a backflip into a limo, or like doing a split and
doing a cartwheel into the aqua car?
Right, like what,
right.
Like why would you listen? Why would that be okay? But then as soon as he talks about this other hypothetical or crazy thing, it's like, oh, I'm not okay with that. I'm okay with this weird fucked up thing that like there's no way that could be real, but this obviously is real because
that offends me, Mark. This one doesn't.
Right. No, that's exactly it though.
But and he can jump into the water, no splash.
No splash on the dive. It's really unfortunate that he felt it was necessary to respond. I mean, obviously it's something that bothered him enough that like people actually thought that's who he was, that he had a problem with the gay community or the trans community or something like, or people like that. And I mean, I could see why he would feel like it was necessary to go, I want to clear that up,
right? Because
that's becoming like a meme about me, is that is who I am, and I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be a part of my narrative. Excuse me. What I was going to say earlier is that I was looking on the Facebook post, and a lot of the kids who went to that school were saying like it was just this small group, a very vocal group that has a lot of sway with these sorts of things that happen, where it's like, I mean, in the society that we're living in, if you say something about the LGBT community that's negative, I mean, there's going to be a very severe backlash.
Right.
And
it's a hot topic right now.
It really, it's a hot topic, and as soon as you press that button, I mean, you're stepping into the fire there. So you got to be careful with what you say. People are really going to come after you for it. And so it could have been a fucking chess club, like 10 people. Yep. But that would have been enough because of the subject matter.
What you got against chess clubs, man?
I was in the chess club. Little known fact. Anyway,
probably didn't show up much.
That's enough sometimes when it's that thing. When you're talking about that thing.
Right.
And a lot of the kids were saying like, we wanted you here. Like you're saying, we don't go to Action Bronson for, social commentary.
He is not KRS-One.
Yeah,
It's not what we go for him for.
You knew what you were getting when you hired the guy.
And that's the thing that leads me to believe that these people that made the fuss don't even know his music. Like, they're not fans. Clearly, they're not fans. But I'm saying, like, even if it was somebody of the LGBT community that was listening to, like, maybe newer Action Bronson, where he doesn't, like, make those references, or, they didn't hear something that would have triggered them if they went back and heard that and got offended, I still don't think they would take that as him, that being the sum of his parts.
Right. I highly doubt the people who complained about him were going through his fucking catalog and then stumbled upon the song and they were like, I don't like this.
Right.
And even still, it's like, fuck, man, like what is the statute of limitations on things like that? The song came out in 2011.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done a song like that since. And
What
he's
song was
already... It's the song Consensual Rape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you name a song that.
That's a pretty intense title.
Right.
You just naming songs like that.
But then it's not... Then it's not rape, so...
Yeah. Maybe we should go back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
I'm used to, Mayhem Lauren and, like, references to, like, Dolph Lundgren and stuff. Not...
That's all I care about. What if he's just like a neo-Nazi in this entire song?
That's why he keeps shaving his head.
Exactly.
Like, and we never knew.
Oh God, that'd be a terrible twist to this entire story.
That'd be it. I couldn't listen to rap anymore. I'm like, you know what? I can't do it. I can't keep having these guys rip my heart out. I can't have these.
See, okay, let's put the shoe on the other foot here. All right, Let's try to think from the other perspective. If we were members of the LGBT community and we heard a song like that, would it be...
Okay, anyway. Is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay. But if we were part of the LGBT community and we heard this song that was, obviously offensive to people, or not even the song, it wasn't even the song that was offensive to them, it was the Instagram post.
Right.
We saw that post after liking Action Bronson for a long time. Don't you think it'd be something similar to people, hearing about Hulk Hogan saying the N-word and you're a black person?
Yeah.
Is that not,
I think
close at least?
I think there's definitely a legitimate comparison there. I mean, a guy that obviously there's not the history there, but a guy that you're a fan of doing something that legitimately offends you. I would want some backstory on it, first and foremost. I need some context before I'm going to say, down with this guy. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a legitimate comparison there. The only problem is, like, again, we're talking about, creative art versus this guy's real life. This was a candid conversation that he thought was never going to get out, and the only reason he apologized was because it got out.
Yeah, it's not like he's on the WWE wrestling being racist.
Right.
He's in his home.
I get that, but the Instagram post is him being candid, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's a public place. He posted that on Instagram because he thought it would be funny, and obviously people did not think it was funny, And then he said, you know what? My bad. That probably wasn't funny. But I mean, like, again, to do something like that and to immediately regret it, because he deleted it like very quickly after he posted it, because like the backlash was swift. It was like, dude, this isn't cool. And he's like, shit, you're right. That actually probably wasn't that cool that I did that. My bad. That should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But instead, it's something that a deleted post is now part of his story. It's part of his narrative. Anytime something like this happens, they bring up something where I guarantee you those fucking kids, they probably hadn't even seen that picture until like somebody probably brought it to their attention. Like, oh yeah, and you remember this shit? Like, no, we don't remember it, but now we know because you showed it to us.
Right.
But yeah, that's Bronson putting himself out there as that character in a public space. Again, Hulk Hogan he didn't think that this was ever going to come to light. This is who he was.
Right. It's extra heinous because of that, of course.
Well, I think that is the main difference. If these were things like, if they caught Bronson saying like, you know, gay people and saying the word like faggot and stuff like that in his own home, recorded where he didn't think it was going to come out, that changes things. Then you go, all right, man, who are you really as a person? Because this is you when you thought you were safe, and you're not, obviously, because you're a celebrity.
Right.
And this is the kind of person that you are.
At that point, I feel like we can safely sort of stop defending the art
Right.
From that artist.
Right.
You know? Because we've talked about art versus artists with Kanye and stuff like that, where it's like, can you enjoy this person's art even though you don't agree with them as a person?
Right.
And to a certain degree, you can. But when somebody like Hulk Hogan, where... like you're saying,
and like Dave said, if his character was a racist, then you'd have to kind of reconcile yourself with that. Like, okay, this is part of his character. Maybe you're not a fan of, like, you know, the WWE trying to use a racist character to get people to buy T-shirts, but you know, that's part of his creativity, right? But the fact that it's real changes that. So like if it was part of his character and he was trying to go for something, or he was trying to say something with it, then I think that's the equivalent of Action Bronson making these songs and having these posts. That's I think more comparable. If Hulk Hogan, if that was part of his character to be that person,
right? You
know, and he's not. He's the all-American. He's the guy we looked up to. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers, respect your parents, and don't date black guys. Like that's.
Oops.
I mean, I didn't say that last part.
Yeah.
I am a real American.
Still a great intro song.
Of every man.
Every man.
Except for black men.
You wanna date my daughter. Brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
No brothers.
Oh.
Yeah. Now I'm sad again.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, this beer will make you happy, so...
Yay!
Yes, the Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company Beach Hippie IPA. This
From
was...
DeLand.
Yeah, this was delicious, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Very, very good taste. I don't know what that fruit flavor was.
Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says fruity and balanced malt. Well, it's very well balanced. Thank you.
Yes, it was. What would you give it?
Fun fact, this brewery is only 30 minutes away.
Oh.
We do have to go to more local breweries.
Yeah.
We have a few. Crooked Can. What's the other one? The one with the tree on it. Anyway, besides the point.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
I can't remember.
1010. We missed 1010 last time. So there's a few in the Orlando, Central Florida area that we have to check out. But yeah, I'd like to check these guys out. The last two we've had have been pretty good.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
I personally would give this beer a 5 out of 6.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards that too. I don't want to start giving too many of them too high of reviews.
Yeah.
But we've had, I mean, if they're good, they're good.
It's true.
You can't really, I mean, I'm not going to downgrade it just because I don't want to give too many 5s. If I'm listening to a lot of good music, it's a lot of good music.
Don't give too many 5s. Come here.
Just the one. 5 out of 6. Dave?
4.5.
All right. 4.5, 5. Any last words?
What do you want on your tombstone, brother?
I want This whole thing. This has been the One Baron Podcast. My name is Marco Dupa. That's Dave.
Is there an arrow pointing?
That's Adam.
Are we buried next to you?
And and it's two hands pointing in either direction. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night. Drink delicious beer.
I'd want pepperoni and sausage on my tombstone.